Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's time again for the knife of the day. This is where I go through my collection one knife at a time, one day at a time. Um, I have a playlist of all the knives we've gone through. I think it's over, I don't know, 245 or something. Um, we started with the Spyderco collection. It's my biggest collection. Most of those knives are from Spyderco. Super classics from the very first Spyderco knife to the most recent. I am now going through my Chris Reeve knife collection, Brous blade knife collection, and Microtech automatic collection. Later we'll do Striders, Hinderers, some custom knives, and case knives. Today, it's Brous blades. I have to tell you, before I talk about the knife of the day, I discovered Brous blades early on. It must have been Skelton. As soon as I started collecting the value folders for Spyderco, I came across Brous blades and the Silent Soldiers, which I'm obsessed with. We'll go through all the Silent Soldier knives that I have, some very, very rare ones as well. Um, but I just fell in love with them. They called his knives mid-tex. Not custom, but not production either. He did a lot of the work himself, but sent away for some of the pieces. This is what I call mid-tex. And they were expensive, more expensive than Chris Reeve knives, but so well built. And I just went crazy over his knives. Most of my collection are the earlier things. I have one of his very newer ones as he grows and puts out a lot more knives. But these are the standards. These are the knives that built his career up. I really like Jason Brous. I don't know him, never talked to him. I've never met him, but I like his work. Young kid, kicking tail. So the knife of the day is the Brous Blades T4 knife. This is the original set of knives that have carbon fiber handles. I saw one of them it's available on Blade HQ right now. It's on sale for close to $500. he also he also, as he's been doing recently, and I want to applaud him for it, he's also taken some of his classic designs and made them in G10, so the prices are half the original price, sometimes a fourth or a third of the original price. So he is trying to reach a lot of different markets. This is a blacked out version, all black with a black coated blade. The other thing he does several things when he produces. I know I'm talking a lot about Brous blades, but you're going to see a lot of Brous blade knives. And unlike Chris Reeve or Microtech or Spyderco, some of you may not be familiar with his work. He does something that's great. Every time he does limited, so all of these knives that I have are limited versions. When I was collecting, he only did knives up to 500. So this is 500, number 463 of 500. He also split the number of knives out of that 500 into blacked out versions. I was really into blacked out, all black versions for my technical knives. Tactical, sorry, not technical. Tactical knives back then. So I have a lot of blacked out versions. He does satin blades, stonewash blades, of course the black coated blades for blacked out, and the acid stonewash. You'll see a number of those examples as we go through his collection. This is the Brous Blade T4, and as you've seen as I've been flipping, it flips like crazy. And this is a big blade and smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. So let's talk about the T4, smooth as silk. Did I say that already? So again, blacked out, he would do like a fourth blacked out, a fourth satin, a fourth stonewash, a fourth acid stonewash, that kind of thing. And when they were done, He also would do special versions of knives, which he called his one-offs. So he would have a different um, scales altogether than his usual one, maybe a colorful scale. You'll see some of his one-offs as we go through the collection as well. They usually cost a little bit more. And I have several of those. So let's talk about the blade first. Drop point blade. Um, big blade. All of my knives from Jason are D2 steel. That's a steel that he prefers. He figures he gets the heat treatment just perfect on it. He feels comfortable working in it. So D2 steel, like Chris Reeve and his S35 VN these days, he prefers that steel. So most of his knives are that. I've seen he does have some knives with different steel, and he asks another knife maker to help him out with handling that because he's not that familiar with it. 4-inch blade. 4-inch blade. Nice groove on the top. Take a little bit of the weight off of it, but just a real swedge on top as well. Hollow ground blade. The edge, pretty much the whole way, 3.9 inches. The total size is 9 inches. That's the total size of the knife from tip to tail. 5.2 ounces. It's very balanced though, but this is a thick knife. Can you see? Especially when you get to the handle. Just a real nice knife. Big blade, 4-inch blade, but man, it just snaps out, doesn't it? Just a real nice flipper, big flipper. You would have to say tactical. The blade, the handle, this is the carbon fiber version. Of course, they do have G10. It's carved up real nice. You will see a lot of this in his knives, how he carves the handles. Most of mine are carbon fiber from him, but he does such a great job. The backspacer is just great. Again, carbon fiber with the pattern right there, and also a middle piece that matches up perfectly with the scales to make the bottom piece as well. Just a nice backspacer. Halfway, it's still easy to clean, but just beautiful work. The clip is his clip. He has several clips, like 3 different clips. Clips to me are not his major point, but everything else really is. The flipper is on his own bearing system. This is right hand tip up only. Right hand tip up only on that clip. This is a fat handle, but man, it feels great in the hand. I'll tell you, you could do some work for a long time with this handle in the hand. And that clip, one thing it does do is it just disappears as you grip the knife. Just a real nice knife. Very well built. Very well built. This, my friends, is, man, look, I just have to flip it all day. This, my friends, is from my Brous Blades collection. We have many more knives to go, but I wanted to show you the Brous Blades T4. This is the carbon fiber edition. Just a wonderful knife. To give you a sense of its size, there's the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the Spyderco Endura. Just to give you a feel for the size of that blade. There you have it. That's the knife of the day. Hey, it's the Brous Blades T4. If this is the first time that you're introduced to Brous Blade knives, welcome. I went gaga for his knives, and you'll see the collection as we go through this, as I highlight the Brous Blades, the Chris Reeve knives, 2 of my mid-tech knives guys that I just have fallen in love with, and of course the Microtech automatics as well. If you enjoy this series as I go through my collection one knife at a time, one day at a time. Don't forget to thumb it up. That just tells me to keep going. That's your vote to Kevin. Just keep going. We appreciate you. Subscribe. That helps me out. And of course, turn on your notifications. While I'm focusing on those three mini collections within my bigger collection, I will be, when new Spyderco knives drop, I'll be breaking in with Spyderco knives as well as the knife of the day, because we're going to continue to I'm continuing to collect Spydercos. You guys have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Hey. Turn off all the social media after you watch this video, of course. Or sometime during the day. And just take a couple of minutes to yourself. Sometimes I find those are tough minutes because I'm just left alone with me and mine. But it helps a lot. Makes you a better father, friend, husband, wife, whatever. You guys have a perfect day. Goodbye.